I want to advocate for myself. I was such an innocent girl, and I feel like I'm being abused with a repeat offender of this black noir who had no right to sexually assault me and put me into all these sexual parties when I was an innocent girl. And on top of that, they have decided to destroy my life past my prime to make Kiki a star because they were backdooring me in my own house for Charlotte and Kiki. While I'm in my bed, they've bought a backdoor doctor and illegally abused my stomach. What I want to know is, why do they always abuse me though? Like, why are they abusing me? Like, why is Kiki everywhere I go? That's what I don't understand. So I'm not allowed to stand up for myself because these people that are promoting her just want to violently abuse me, and I want to know why. That's what I want to know. That's the mystery I want to know. It's like no matter where I go in the world, it's always some sort of abuse and torture. And I've never had this in my life, and I want to understand why. Because when I met this John, I felt like it was a complete setup, and I just ended up getting really abused. And now, so I'm not mentally ill, but I do understand different stages of people's emotional sort of statuses. So if I've gone through extreme amount of bullying, you can understand that my state has become vulnerable. There's no boundaries. They're weaponizing their words against me. They're humiliating me. They're punishing me. They're degrading me. And so I've felt extremely devalued. I've lost all my confidence because I feel like there's men with a lot of power abusing and bullying me, saying, no, Nadia's better than you. No, this girl's better than you. And I've been hounded with this Kiki against my will. And every time I want to speak or have my own life, they're using her to dominate and subjugate me. And that's where I feel very, very violently abused. And not only that, they have destroyed my life. Not only did I illegally get put in prison and arbitrary detention for all these years as a grubby woman, when my past is about cleaning people's lives up, cleaning people's houses, keep cleaning their minds up, and I don't get the honor she does. So what kind of person comes into my hometown and plants her in my hometown? Why did they go to my hometown? And why am I outcast of my hometown if nothing happened? Something happened behind my back and I got outcast by all these lawyers. And there's a toilet video and there's a toilet culture. And I'm asking for it to come to the forefront because this is a situation where I've had extreme domestic violence. I think it's highly unethical of this noir to do about chemistry of love because I've gone through violence. Who wants me? I've been disfigured. What kind of a test are you actually doing? I think you know very well that I've been violently abused, and I feel like you feel some sort of extreme domination and power over picking over battered women because you feel like you and Kiki own everything that has anything to do with my future. And the only way now that has come to fruition is that I've actually been murdered. Now, I believe it's something Chinese because, I don't know, it's either something Chinese, but because I got these Chinese people giving me the sarcastic kiss of death and saying that the chef is giving you a kiss of death on that ship. So it's those 5 Asian girls, isn't it? Is it? Or is it the Spice Girls? Because at the end of the day, I didn't have any rights, like at all. And I'm just saying it's quite torturous to put somebody that's been disfigured and drag her around. I want to advocate for myself as somebody else. So I want to, let's take Jenny out aside of this equation and talk to me as somebody else, like as an advocate. I just want to advocate for the victim because I'm just left with no one to help me, and I want you to understand what it's like for somebody like me that is just going through it, through all this greed and corruption and violent tyranny, when really what I'm trying to say is my family built a peaceful life in Christchurch. They are all of my mother's friends that she spent years getting to know. Not just these guys, it's not the value of just people just using them in some business. These are people that we've spent time with, you know? And I feel like they've just used me to promote this girl, and I just got put and tortured in a toilet chamber with no mercy, nobody to talk to me. I got blamed for absolutely everything in this racist abuse. And the racism comes from my looks and appearance. And what I want to say is it's a disability. Because in Australia, if your face is disfigured, you're disabled. Because you're more sensitive. I don't have the strength of Jenny. I didn't have the strength of the woman, that high value woman with a lot of self-assurance and confidence. I'm not that Jenny anymore. I'm a battered woman that survived something that she didn't want to survive. So that poor girl spent 2 years bewildered why she got violently abused and her face ruined before her time, and was kind of being hounded by some sort of fraternity hazing cult that I was going to be ugly for the rest of my life. Now, I come from a predominantly womanly family. Even the men are not very manly. So it's not a very nice feeling that I had. It was torture. And the way that this, I've been really abused, and there's been absolutely no mercy. It's an attitude like I deserve it, and there's this attitude like they're Hollywood and I deserve it. I don't understand it, because I was a beautiful girl, and I saw the world in a beautiful way, and in such a short time of poisoning, they have managed to really ruin my looks. It's just this ongoing event, and the racism of this situation is what I'm kind of getting to understand, is it's better to die, because I'm being targeted predatory by all these people that believe that they are far more superior because of their looks. So in that case, they're coming from these third world countries like Thailand and believing because they're beautiful, they can just beat the shit out of me and torture my vagina and genitals and be extremely famous and just completely honor kill me with some antisocial behavior because of patriotism. Is it? Socially, I have really, really been suffering. And I would never. I'm a very social family, and I was a social person. I'm a bit of a balance of both. Now, I'm speaking up for this Jenny that's a victim, basically, and because I'm not welcome or liked in this country, right? So in this time, I have been a very soft-hearted person, and I was very, very still confident. I've lost all my confidence and worth, and I feel beaten, and I feel, as an advocate for somebody that's been this victimized by such severity, not only have I been dominated by big governments, my vagina's been brutally attacked in a level 4 type trauma, and it's hugely domestic violence. Not only that, I've been used in illegal military experiments. Sorry, I'll talk about me as the second person. She has been used in illegal experiments, torturing her genitals to make sure these Asians have this look of love and chemistry of sexual desire in front of the public eye. And I just got dragged into a situation that I didn't have any mercy. My face was disfigured. Do you think it's really a case where somebody should be used like that? It's really unethical to use somebody that was so abused and tortured to put her in the public like that and torture me and then put me into the rubbish bin. And I think it's ethical to put me down now, because what I've felt like is that all you big people in politics are just bullying me that only Kiki gets to be beautiful. I felt like her mother's abused me. I feel like it's a torture just to want to go to work, that I got punished and given HIV. And I'm being punished severely with illegal crime of filming me. And it's like my landlord just opened my vagina and ruined it to the world, and keeps going on about my size, like sex tapes that I'm a big woman. And it's like, why is anybody looking at me? Have you seen a lot of fat tapes of me? Fat pound town sex? That's punishment, right? The sad thing is there any photos of me here? The beauty of me and my family is that my mum actually worked very hard for that whole reputation down in Christchurch, and it just got stolen by my ex and his greedy girlfriend who wants to be famous, and then all these other girls, and they just used me. Him and John, is it John? They just used me and abused me and my landlord, and I just got destroyed. And when I got my face back, it's been completely ruined again. I got tortured with more violent chemicals, more violent toxins, and without any mercy or anybody to support or advocate for me. Instead, they've made massive trafficking rings, and she's making sure I'll never be famous for the rest of my life. Who would pay to make sure somebody is in these illegal experiments to make sure I'm never ever famous for what I do? But not only that, they're making sure I cannot work in society. They're making sure I cannot have any social inclusion, which I believe in Nelson Mandela. I think he wrote a quote. I wrote it today. Something about keeping somebody in solitary confinement is a real form of torture. And it is, because I've always been a social person. I've always been very confident about my intellectual abilities and my ability to take the next step. But I can't, because I feel like I've got this abuse from this pizza company and Kiki and these other Asian guys to stop me going forward in my life. And so what I'm saying is they are making me miserable. They're basically teaching the world and celebrity world to just torture and bully people that are ugly and keep these like harassment of the government coming into our files and our phones to keep abusing us when we're just holding on. It's, I was just holding on in life. I was already abused, and I had the torture and the violence of India for years that I'm fucking ugly, and a Snoop Dogg, all this discriminatory comedian abuse, like torturing me out of the communities, destroying a legacy of love that I built, and I am completely erased now. Like, this is me 2 years ago. And now look, it's like they've completely ruined all my skin. I believe even my mum has had chemical violence happen to her because her skin wouldn't be hard like that. Now we are being erased as humans from government, and I'm being oppressed from government. They're silencing us, and the Asians are doing illegal harassment and have been blocking aid. And what I'm saying is that what celebrity culture is about. You're teaching the world to never let a woman be educated or be good at anything if she's ugly. This is what I want to come forward to, because I've got cousins Lee and Anita, Jodie's cousins. And Anita was always kind of picked on for her looks, but look at her life. She's a skydiver. She's living and loving her life. She's an amazing girl. And to me, she's not ugly. She's still a great girl. She's doing fun things in her life. So why should I be tortured by all these narcissists in Hollywood and my ex-partners who are getting billion-dollar deals to look hot if they subjugate me and ruin me, and all this crime about making me pound town and keeping me on apps and all these selfies of me and then torturing me on the Silk Road and illegally displacing me, a crime against humanity, illegally removing me, illegally evicting me, illegally torturing me, illegal racism. It's just structural racism. It's just creating barriers to have my own wealth, creating discrimination, denying me the right for human rights. It's like, do you know, in my life, I had all these years to get my confidence up, and I finally felt beautiful. And so this noir guy just decided to erase my whole identity and abuse me that I'm not good enough because Kiki's pretty. And so all I've been is at the hands and mercy of all these violent men that are torturing me over her. And I got told, the Chinese said, you were getting the chef's kiss of death, and basically tortured me and put me to death with the HIV injection. And as an advocate for Jenny the victim, she was already persecuted and lost her family and was traumatized at the fact that people were nasty to her. This girl had never had extreme conflict and hatred. She has dealt with one or two nasty people over a course of maybe 1 year, not horrific amount of ongoing torturing and then ongoing making her labor for free next to all of these different women. Like all of them, like Poppy and Kiki, I've been made to labor against them on the internet. I'm being made to labor against them in these secret, like little chat rooms and these secret, like underground tunnels built by India. And I just got put to death in a toilet, merciless, nowhere to go, nowhere to run. They just destroyed me and drowned me in this dirty river. And she's like, finally, I got rid of her. So what happens to me? I got also destroyed as a used up car. I saw the crime happen in Australia. They erased my whole tablet to erase that there was a crime. And they just keep acting like everybody, I should bow down to everybody. I've done it. I've kept small for a long time, but why should I stay ugly because you don't want me to go to work? Like, why should I get HIV because you want to dominate me and you want to dominate my future? Why should I have my genitals mutilated and subjugated and tortured in front of all the men in my culture so that you can erase an entire nation? I'm asking, the point of this from Black Noir was what? If he is a human trafficking guy, I would like my rights to have somebody investigate what's going on with the corruption in the government, why I got adopted and put to death in this country. Because I did nothing to deserve that. I went to Sweden to escape the punishing stories that I was too ugly for my ex. I went to Sweden to escape it. I shouldn't be a prisoner in my home. And I'm just wondering why everywhere I go, Asians are behind me paying people to outcast me, or these kings, and I'm kept in a book outcast by this penguin. Why there's all these walls built outcasting me, and why they're allowed to keep putting neurotoxins in my food and my rooms, why they keep coming in my room, why they're torturing me. I don't feel like I'm being human at all. I want access to somebody that can advocate for this victim, Jenny, I want her genitals to be looked at by forensics because it's completely mutilated and she's always smelling like ammonia, which shows a disease which is being neglected. And I'm asking for my mother that put so much energy down into Christchurch to build a massive reputation. This France has, behind my back, gone to everybody and just stolen my whole my inheritance. Everything that is left for me. And I'm paying for Kiki's lifestyle. I'm paying for Black Noir's lifestyle and my landlord. And I just got executed because I said that's not fair. That's, so these guys have taken over the land and it's a crime against humanity. Because why did they not leave me in Australia? Because I kept away from this country for the very reason that they'd already destroyed my relationships with my friendships down in Christchurch by going on that I'm mentally ill and I've been a toilet queen. So I came to Australia and then they just took everything that I worked for and put me to death anyway. They put me to death in a courtroom against my will, and then they're always framing me for things that I haven't done. And it's not a democracy because no one's telling me anything. I'm being abused all over the world as a dog. I'm being tortured, and I feel like out of responsibility, I want this Black Noir investigated why he's doing a chemistry test if my face is disfigured. Do you think that's ethical? Do you think it's malicious? Do you think he's got a sadist attitude that likes to see abuse? Because I feel like this person has some sort of predatory disease that he's finding me wherever I go. And the reason being is because that family is taking over my legacy and my country and my heritage. And my heritage was based on love. All of my references before this abuse say I'm lovely, like since 2023, all of it, all of my work, everything. So why should I be punished without any solutions? Somebody, could you please help me with the apartheid in this nation? There's a racial segregation. That what would balance it out is respect of where somebody is at in their life, instead of dragging them around and just punishing somebody that's survived hell, just to throw them into the pits of hell of a narcissistic pool of beauty that somebody that's been so ruined could not ever compare to. I want my own work and plastic surgery for my own rights, because I have a right to feel happy in my own life, right? And also government officials going and invading my family and blackmailing them to take their assets away unless they stay away from me, and then unless they incite violence, is an erasure of a whole culture and heritage, and it's not fair. I wouldn't do anything wrong to people. I am an innocent person, and I am a nasty person when it comes to retaliation if I've been abused too long. But I'm really an innocent person, and I didn't deserve this, because before the violence happened to me recently, I sincerely only was a genuinely good person that did good by other people, that I wanted to do good by other people. I wanted to give out service for other people, because I had reached a equilibrium, a balance of my own generational issues that I'd come to some sort of peace with, and I had come to a point where I was strong enough to hold other people in their problems, and I also felt like it was a calling for me. I'm interested in it, like I feel fulfilled and as a, what do you call it, as a job. Like, I just feel like it's such a interesting job to listen to somebody else and to unravel and put them back together in a way that they can handle life and create a better life for themselves. And this is I'm just being stolen from all these different families, and they've bound me in all of these cycles and all of these families by illegally kind of connecting all of my life to all of these people and linking my heart and the things that mattered to me, the beauty of life, the sensitive kindness, the giving compassion. He is kind of linking my spiritual connections to this other woman. And I feel very cheated. This is my spiritual inheritance. It is my generational love that was given to me through my grandfather, not, they've been framing me for years that I owe karma, and they've just sexually violated me and transferred my wealth and then destroyed and discriminated against every effort to get into work. But my thing is, if she is so bad at work, why are they always in her phone taking credit? It's like they're using bullying tactics and looks as a way to dominate and intimidate Jenny out of a job after she's been violently abused of her face. So are these Asians very nice girls, or are they just hot sex for my ex-partner? Because it's like they seem to know that he likes Asian girls, and they're just giving him a plethora of women to keep him like having hot sex and keeping me subjugated and shamed in the public eye, when she just wants to go to work. And every time she goes to work, she's dealing with all these women with this egotistical thing that she's not allowed to go to work or have her own life. And the police are always taking away her rights. And I want somebody to investigate the corruption, please. Because I've done nothing bad in my life to people but try and help them. And due to the violence and the extreme abuse of power, I've just been put to death unfairly because I wanted to go to work. This whole time I've been a determined wee fish trying to go to work, and I just got violently abused. They took away Jenny. I wanted to get my life back, and so they basically made all these hot girls next to me and have destroyed my charm and my beauty, everything. If nobody had dragged me around in public, I think I would have been well adjusted, and I could have just dealt with life as a disfigured woman. But they've really made me a spectacle every day, humiliating me cruelly, and constantly the mayor dragged me around on these buses. I don't want to be on channels anymore. I don't want to labour anymore. I want it to end. I shouldn't be a dog of the communities. I should be allowed to have my own money back. It's not fair. Like, You know, it's really not fair, and I want help with the disembowelment. These are war crimes, really serious things that have happened that Jenny is being ignored about. This country is not giving her any resources, and when she eats, she feels like she's going to black out. She can't digest. When she goes to the toilet, it's like half of her stomach's tied up, and it's not coming down for maybe 5 or 6 days, and it takes a lot of laxatives. So where am I meant to go when I'm not welcome in any society and I'm paying endless amount of debt to all these people, and I've been subjugated and abused horrifically as a Halloween character and denied the right to respect after a genocide? That's what's going to balance out this, is respect to a victim that's gone through violence. And her thyroid blew out. She's got Jeffrey Epstein-Barr virus. It's destroyed the immunity. And if somebody's given her HIV and COVID, then it really put her body out of character and made her extremely tired, and she was asleep for days. So I'm just wondering, what about all the sexual violence? Why is the country covering it up? There was sexual violence here, and there's a exclusion in a members group. So why are they blocking her going anywhere in the whole country? And you're retiring me when she didn't want to retire. And if you're retiring her, there should be a massive payout where I get to retire in a nice house, because you've actually stopped my life for 7 years without any future. And I used to work all the time, and I was extremely young, and I feel sad. I feel like Ruben is getting to go date all these young girls, and I lost my youth because of the violence and the discrimination and the hatred of this chicken that wanted him and his money and wanted all these girls. And he's just taken away my right to live my life in a happy way, and taken away my honor, and taken away a huge dream of having a child and a great family, which I worked very hard in therapy. It was a hard-earned career that I earned, and it's just been erased by this Hollywood. So I feel like there needs to be some sort of intervention so I can nut out a way to die, because it's eternal suffering I'm going through, and I want the police to just lay off my life now, as I'm very tired of the police with this heavy hand over my life. I never get any rights to a job ever since my face got ruined. They're really dictating to me that I'm a dog of the world, and I never got freedom. It's just really abusive, and they just got me on these flights with all this racism over beauty and just chaining me to feces. When does it end? When does Jenny get to have her life back after you violently abused her face? It's just she would like her life back off Hollywood. She would like her life back off the music industry. She would like her life back off the government and the police, and she would like her family back. She would like her own life. It's just a complete hijacking of her spiritual journey, and I got framed, and everything that she worked for, putting great dharma into people and having a pure dowry, it got sold in a violent, jealous attack, and just ruining her appearance that only Kiki can be a star. Now, I feel like Black Noir did that to me, and I feel like something should be done about the discrimination and the predatory behavior and violence he's exerting over my life. And this John, why should I have to pay any more? I'm an innocent girl, and I want my family back. I want to be Jenny. I worked hard to be an innocent girl. I went to therapy to go back to innocence, and you want me to grow up. Why should I grow up? I've been tortured. You've used me as some Michael Jackson. You're torturing me as some legend. Why did I get executed? Who decided I had to be part of Hollywood and die like that? Why can't anyone just see me as Jenny, the girl that got put into a situation she didn't want to, because this Kiki and John wanted my whole life in Christchurch, and they just executed me unfairly, unlawfully. It was a crime against humanity, and I'm a disabled woman that needs help, and I'm not getting it. And they're also keeping these rings of trafficking digital armies that aren't going to let me be part of society, which is absolute cruelty. Shouldn't I have the right to live? It's like I didn't even get my life. I just survived the unthinkable, and they put me back to death.